So I'd like to share with you the best protocol for not only bipolar disorder, but OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. And I first just want to mention, this is not to replace your medical care. Check with your doctor before implementing this. I just want to give you another viewpoint. I want to give you another option because it's very difficult to find a protocol that would really potentially work for you. And unfortunately, the current treatment for these two conditions have a lot of side effects. First of all, there's mega SSRIs, and those are medications that inhibit the reuptake of serotonin, so you increase the serotonin in the body. And then they potentially might give you intravenous clomipramine or deep brain stimulation, where they're putting wires into your brain, or even functional neurosurgery. So some people might even consider you're getting a chemical lobotomy. But when you look at alternatives for these conditions, you'll see that, alternative treatments are dangerous and they might have side effects. But for example, fish oils was given to someone like 10 times the normal value and they had some side effects. But what about all the drug side effects? And really, what is the potential reason why you might have these conditions in the first place? That's what I want to know about. But one thing you need to know is the mechanism of how some of these medications work is through manipulating neurotransmitters. And the missing information that a lot of people need to know related to that is that your gut, your friendly microbes make a tremendous amount of neurotransmitters. So if you have gut problems, okay, that you better work on that, because the microbiome, the friendly bacteria, are probably not making enough neurotransmitters. And I'm talking about serotonin, I'm talking about norepinephrine, dopamine. And so people who have bipolar disorder have a much higher incidence of inflammation in their gut than people that don't have that condition. So there's definitely a connection. So here's the simple protocol. If you have gut issues, okay, fix that first. How do you do that? I'll put some videos down below, but basically you need to start consuming foods that give you the prebiotic and the probiotic. So I'm talking about fermented foods, sauerkraut, kimchi, maybe a high quality kefir, definitely a probiotic. That alone can create a huge stabilizing influence over your mood. And of course, I'm going to jump right down to 6. One thing that will create inflammation in your gut is grains. So you must get rid of all grains in your diet, as well as sugar. Both of these things will severely destroy your gut. And I know quite a few people who just get rid of the gluten out of the diet, and they also cut down the sugar, and magically these symptoms go away. So with the gut, you need to put in the good bacteria and the good friendly microbes and take away the things that are causing the inflammation. And I'm also talking about the grain oils like soy oil, corn oil, canola, cottonseed oil. Those oils are highly inflammatory. Number 2, your brain works much better on a low carb ketogenic diet than on a high carb sugar diet. So anytime we're dealing with mental mood disorders or cognitive problems, your brain is going to be much happier on ketones, okay? So you go low carb, and if you have gut problems like IBS or inflammation in your gut, you may even want to do the carnivore version of the ketogenic diet, where you're not introducing any plants. For some people, that is very, very beneficial. So we're going to run the brain on ketones, okay, and support the gut. The 2 most important things. Third most important thing is fish oils, okay? Now, I recommend cod liver oil just because it has some additional things like vitamin D and vitamin A, not to mention the omega-3 fatty acids. But omega-3 fatty acids greatly reduces inflammation in the brain, and it's been studied to produce a significant effect for these disorders. And by the way, I'm going to put those links down below. But a very good high-quality fish oil is essential. And realize it does take probably about a month to work. So just start taking it consistently, and it's going to help reduce inflammation in the brain, and it's going to support the brain directly. Now, the next thing that's very, very important is number 4, the B vitamins. Your brain needs B vitamins desperately. Neurotransmitters work with the B vitamins. Now, if you have OCD, vitamin B1 is essential because it can really help control your focus dramatically and get rid of nervous tension as well. So B1 is important. And folate, okay, folate, not folic acid, get the folate version, which is the natural version, very important. And make sure that you get natural B vitamins. Nutritional yeast is a really good source versus a lot of the synthetic versions that they have. Now, these are mandatory, but these are optional, okay? So we have lithium orotate, very effective for bipolar disorder. Then you have another one called N-acetylcysteine, NAC. If you're going to get a product and it just says NAC, make sure it's the N-acetylcysteine, which is very effective for the mania part of bipolar because it helps to regulate glutamate, which is an amino acid in the brain. Now, many times when people have bipolar or OCD, they may have depression. And if you have depression, hyperforin, which is an extract of St. John's wort, is a very effective antidote for depression, not to mention vitamin D. And then if you also have schizophrenia, I would recommend adding glycine, but you need to take a lot of it. You want to take 20 grams 3 times a day. So that's a total of 60 grams. Now you can tailor make it by your weight. You'd want to take 0.8 grams per kilogram of weight if you want to get the exact amount. But this can also help greatly to minimize this condition right here. And then you might want to add the niacin, which is vitamin B3, to put the icing in the cake, because niacin has been known to greatly improve schizophrenia. So anyway, I just wanted to give you this protocol so you have some alternative plan that you can use to help yourself. Now, at this point, I think it's very, very important to get the basic eating plan that you would need to get. And for that information, I put that up right here.